Hi everyone, this is Alicia Smith with Alicia Smith Designs, and I have a project share in partnership with Beebeecraft. And I think in a previous video you all probably saw that I am participating in a I don't know what it's called actually, but anyway, you have the opportunity, if you have over 100 subscribers on YouTube, to choose some products to review and play with from the Beebeecraft website. And then you come back and do videos and do an unboxing, which you've already done. And then I've got a couple of videos that I'm going to do with the projects that I've made. So I chose one of the sets that I chose was a quilling set. And so quilling, I have learned, is a very ancient paper crafting art form. Some say it originated in Egypt, others say in Europe. Nevertheless, very popularly used by nuns and monks to decorate Bibles back in the 15th or 18th century. So that's just a little history fact, you know, because as a researcher, I had to understand where did this all come from. You can see here that I'm untangling a large set of paper strips. So with paper quilling, it is crafting with these really thin, and they vary in widths, but the really thin pieces of paper to create art. And so if anybody has any idea how you wrangle all this paper once you take it out of these very neat packages that they come in. I got 3 of these with the set that I got. If anybody knows how to wrangle this, I would be thrilled to know. But it also came with tools, and so I have a variety of curling tools, and they are different in that there's a different amount of space in between these prongs, which is wonderful for thicker papers. I also had a few of these already because I use them for my rolled flowers. So now I have a much larger set. As you can see, this one here has a much larger space so that you could really manipulate either several pieces of paper or thicker paper. It also has a piercing tool. It came with a set of tweezers, and I am learning what these are, whatever these are called. It came with these too. I think it helps you form the pieces of paper once you've done it. That certainly is one that helps you form that. And then it also comes with this, and this has little prongs inside. There we go. And you can place these prongs in these openings, these circles, and create your own unique design with the paper. Well, I have been doing a little bit of research on Annigan Creates, and I'll link her channel below. But she has wonderful tutorials on quilling. And so the one I specifically followed was about how to make 10 flowers using a teardrop shape. And so that's what I've done here. So you'll see that I have just taken a few of these pieces of paper and just started playing with and practicing how to make teardrop shapes. And so I didn't necessarily have a project in mind. I just wanted to kind of play with the paper and see what it would do in my hands. I have found that it is a really relaxing kind of great for just doing something with your hands, like fidget spinning kind of thing. You can make a ton of these in a short amount of time. Mine aren't fantastic. They are just, you know, I'm sure there's a lot I have to learn. But nevertheless, I decided to use this Echo Park paper. And I love this paper pack. It is the Botanical Gardens. And I didn't necessarily consider myself a big flower person, but something about this paper. It's double-sided. It's very thick. It is wonderful. And the 6x6 set It has a beautiful texture to it. And so anyway, I'm using this paper pad, and I decided to make some 3x3 cards. And so this is one of them, and I've just taken some 110-pound cardstock, as well as one of those pieces of paper, inked up the edges, added another piece on top of it, because I thought at first that I was just going to use it on this pattern paper, and it was too busy for me, at least. So I just put another piece of paper here, inked it up, and then created this flower. And so I'm learning, right? Like, you know, okay, what can I do? Now, the issue is that it's going to create some dimension, which is fine. So that means that my envelope will have to have dimension. So you'll have to just keep that in mind. And so in thinking of packaging, I wanted to create a set of these. Thinking of packaging, I have to keep that in mind as well. This is the next one I created. And again, I just started with just making these flowers, or these petals. And I just kind of went as I, you know, designed it as I was going to figure out what I was going to do next. So this is another one. And then this is the third one. And again, just using some of her techniques. So what I also figured out is that I glued these petals on here backwards. They should be turned around the other way, which I'll show you here in a minute. But whatever, you know, it's just a 3x3 card, and I'm just learning. So you've got to be willing to make some mistakes, right, when you're learning. So I thought that I would do a few of these with you. If you're interested, you can stay with me, and I will just really do a quick demonstration on how to create these little teardrop shapes. So again, the paper comes in these long strips, and you can just pull apart what you want. I think I'll go with this dark burgundy color as an extension of what I've been working on, and they are adhered together very easily, very easy to remove. You just take a piece off there. Now, I'm sure there is some sort of formula, rhyme or reason for how long a strip you need. I'm just going to cut off a strip. We're just going to do it just like that, and let's see what we get. So I'm going to choose one of these tools that allows me to just slip in here fairly easily. And if I have to struggle too much, I'm going to a different tool. That's just my rule. So you're placing it right inside there, and then you just start rolling. So it works pretty quickly. So I've gotten to the end. I'm going to take this out. Now, if I were concerned about making sure that each one of my teardrops were exactly the same size, you can use this tool here for that. Now, don't get me to lying now. Don't make it sound like I know exactly what I'm doing, because I don't. But, you know, what I did pick up on is that you can put it in there and then let it unspin and loosen up, and then pop it out. And you've got something like this. Now, I already made an error because my little thingy came out. But guess what I'm going to do? Watch this. You're going to cut it off and keep it tapping. Okay, so then you're left with this little loose end. Take some glue. And you don't need a lot. This is art glitter glue. And I am just going to gently adhere that, and you can see here that there's no science to it. That glue dries really quickly. And then right at that seam, I want that, let me see if I can move some things out of your way. I want that seam right there to be the tip of my teardrop. So I'm just going to pinch, move this little ball out of the way a little bit. And then there you have it. I have a little teardrop. Now you can do a couple of things with this. You can bend this one this way, and it becomes a nice little paisley shape. That's kind of interesting. You can take it and move the ball out of the way and come on the other end and pinch it. So you've got a little bit of a different shape there. So there's all kind of options. And if you check out Annigan Creates, she has lots of ideas. So that's just one of the little designs that you can have. So let's make the next card. So I wanted to do a set of 4. Again, this is my card base that I've created just with some 110 cardstock, you know, like a beigey off-white kind of color. As you can see, I've got the designer paper, and then I'm just taking another piece of paper that's colored but a little less busy, and I'm going to offset it. So I'll put this on here first. So this is a 3x3 card. This matting piece here is approximately 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 squared. And then this matting piece here is about 2.5 by 2.5. No science to it. I just, you know, I just need a little border on it. And I have purposely placed it offset so that I don't have to deal with matching it up. Just also to create a little bit of interest. And there we have it. Okay, so the design I was playing with was to use this petal here. You know, part of it is I didn't want to open another package because I'm out of this specific color. That pretty peach color that matches this paper exactly, I'm out of. And I didn't want to open another package. So this is what we're doing. We're going with what we have. And I was playing with this design. And I created this little shape here, doing something similar to what I just demonstrated to you before. And I figured that I would place them at an angle here. I think I want to switch places with those. Trying to make sure that those seams, to the best that I can control at least, are not as visible. This is a little bit darker green color. I'm going to have it in the middle. Now, don't hear me say that this is not a fiddly project. It is, if you're working with smaller pieces, but it is what it is. It'll be fine. Now, for the stems, I was just kind of, you know, winging it. And so I did one little curve this way, one little curve that way, and we're going to see what happens. In this case, I want that to come up right next to that one and kind of curve this way. And then I will put the leaves on in the right direction this time. They are just kind of hanging out. And it'll look something like that. Okay, let me see if I can move you in just a little bit. There we go. That may be a little helpful. So in order to glue it down, I'm going to start by applying a little bit of glue on that stem so that it can be drying. I want it to nestle up right next to the little leaf piece that I have here. So kind of forming the paper a little bit, creating a little bit of a curve. So let that one hang out for a second. And then gluing, there's probably a better way to do this, but this is what I did. I'm going like this. Now the great thing about this glue is that it will dry clear. So I'm just placing it down and letting it adhere. Same thing for these. I'm gonna let it nestle right next to the previous one, being careful of that of the fold. And then we'll get into these, and again, just kind of shaping it a little bit and gluing it down. And there we go. And then that longer one that's in a darker green color, we'll go there. And then, oh wait, one other thing. There are a couple of ways that you can do this seam part. You can put a dollop of glue down and run the paper through it. That works. You can put the glue down and set the paper in it. And well, today I am going to just run it along the edge and shape it as I go. And surprisingly, this works out. It stays, it behaves, it just kind of works with you. And so you have a few seconds, at least with this glue, to move it around, but not very long if anybody knows art glitter glue. So I have just a few seconds to work with it. And there we go. So then I'll take this leaf and we'll put this one here. And glue this one here. Just was putting glue on that. And maybe this one inside. Sorry about that. I just placed that one there. I've got another one that's lighter. I don't know that that adds very much, so we'll leave that one off. But there you go. There's room for a sentiment if I chose to add one. We can clean up a little bit of that glue, which again, it'll dry clear anyway. And really, yeah, I may just put a sentiment there. Could say thank you or whatever. But there you have it. It's a cute little 3x3 card, and I'll move out a little bit. And I've got a nice little set here. I'll create envelopes and a box for them, and it's a nice little gift. So thank you all so much for stopping by. Thank you to Beebeecraft for trusting me with this review. I appreciate the opportunity. And thank you to Anakin Creates for teaching me how to do this. So see you next time, and have a great day.